All right. I didn't send this out over the mini chat because it's just a quick one I want to do. And I've had this issue come up with new people. So I'm going to go ahead and do a whole training on it so that everybody knows what's going on. And I'll go over different scenarios and all that good stuff. So pretty much what this is different routines and scenarios that can happen according to what your daily schedule is. So you can fit your meals in, training, and not set yourself up for failure because it's something you didn't read or something like that. I know the PDF has most of these in there. The old diet guide I used to put out, which I might still start putting that back out again, even though some of the same info is on there. It does map this stuff out, but I want to do a video-based training on it because I don't like to read either. I'd rather watch it. So let me pull up. I took some time and made a chart, and I want to go over it right now. So now your typical scenarios. Now, scenario one is mine. This is what I do. So I wake up, do cardio, and then I eat my first meal. I try to get all that done within an hour. So if I get up at 4, I go down to the 24 Pearl City. I have about 45 minutes to do cardio. I eat meal 1. Then, according to when I'm going to train and when I'm going to go to bed, I spread my meals out. As you guys see, I have 7 because I'm up so long, and I can't stretch my meals out any further than I do. You want to do the 2 to 3 hour rule. So no sooner than 2 hours, no longer than 3 hours. So I eat 5, 7:30, and then I usually train around 9:30. No cardio. I do cardio in the morning. Usually takes about an hour and a half to train. I have a shake. Then 11:30, I eat meal 3 because that's an hour after the shake. In fact, let me see if I can downsize this. Hopefully you guys can still see. Actually, I'll go back full screen. I like this. So, and then from then on, at 11:30, I start thinking, okay, I'm going to bed around 9:30. So how can I space my meals out to where I'll fit them all in and I won't be going too long without eating? So 11:30, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and then I'm in bed at 9:30. But you can eat, as soon as I eat that meal 7, I can go straight to bed if I'm tired. It does not matter. This whole eat before bed is a fucking myth. I've said this 1,000 times. If you go to bed hungry, it's hard to sleep because your body cannot recover because there's no nutrients to use to recover. So there's really no reason for it to sleep. But sometimes I'll stretch these out a little more than 2 hours. I'll go 2.5. Very rarely do I go 3. And just as long as I get them all in before bed. Scenario 2. Now this is what I have a few people doing where they train first thing in the morning. You cannot work out first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. You are setting yourself up for failure. When I did the cardio training a while back, I said when you do very intense activities, your body cannot use body fat to fuel that. It will use carbohydrates. And if there's no carbohydrates, it will use your muscle. So you're cannibalizing yourself. And in fact, you're making your metabolism slower. So in that case, you are making yourself fatter by lifting on an empty stomach. So if you're getting up and doing fasted cardio, that's completely different. Cardio and working out are not the same thing. I know people say, well, I got my workout in the morning. Oh, I meant cardio. No, cardio is not a fucking workout. It is used to burn fat. That is it. Even if you're doing HIIT training, I'm not counting it as a workout. Your workout is what you do in the weight room. So what your training is there for the day. So if you do cardio in the morning, like in scenario 1, perfectly fine. Get up, do your cardio, and then eat. Because you're not getting intense enough to where you're burning muscle. And if you get up and eat and do cardio, you're just burning your food off. You want to burn off fat. But if you're getting up and you're working out first thing in the morning, you cannot use body fat to fuel that. So you have to have carbohydrates in there or you'll burn your muscle off working out. Which brings me to scenario 2. You wake up around 4:10, eat, 5, you're in the gym. I did this one as if you were going to train and do cardio together. So you would train. And immediately after training, you go and do your cardio, and then you have your shake. And then you pick up with your meals after that. I wouldn't train and do cardio at night. I would do the cardio right after the training here because if you're just at the start of the diet, or even if you're not, you might have some glycogen in your system in the evening because you've eaten a few times. And if you do cardio in the evening, it may not be as effective. I like doing cardio first thing in the morning and right after working out, and then adding it in other areas if needed. Like in my scenario, in scenario 1 here, I'm just starting 2 cardios now, and I don't like doing cardio after training. So I'll do a cardio session here, train, shake, and then around here, I'll do another 45 minutes of cardio. In fact, I'll just add that in. So I'll do like right here. And then that way I can eat right after and I'll be recovering. I'll have 2 meals to eat after that cardio session, so I won't overdo it. Back to scenario 2. Wake up, eat, train, do cardio, shake, pick up for the meals after that. So if you have your shake at 6:30, try to eat again around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then space your meals out. I put meal 7 if needed. I really don't see a lot of people getting up at 4. So most likely in this scenario, you're waking up at 5 and training at 6. So in that case, you won't need a meal 7. If you get up and go as long as I do, and you're going like 3-4 hours without a meal before bed because you've eaten all your meals, you don't have any more left, you need to let me know, because then we have to start splitting shit up to where you have a meal before bed. So that's why it says meal 7 if needed. Don't add a meal in there, but if you need one between 6 and bed, meal 6 and going to bed, you need to let me know so that we can start shave a little off each meal to make an extra one at the bottom so that you can eat it before you go to bed. Scenario 3, this is Mary's scenario right now. Actually, scenario 3 and 4 are both scenarios Mary was in. So that will be, I forgot to finish this one. We'll go over those. So scenario 3, if she's watching, this is the one she's currently doing. She wakes up, eats her meals, spaces them out. She has a meal an hour, 2 hours before you train at the most. If you eat, I like to say an hour and a half before you train. 2 hours is the max. If you eat and then wait 2 hours to train, you better get through that training session and do your cardio, because you don't want to go 4 or 5 hours without food. I like eating an hour before I train if I'm not doing intra workout. If I am doing intra workout, then I'll eat an hour and a half. Then I'll eat an hour and a half, 2 hours before training. But that's a whole different topic. Most of the time, once your metabolism gets really revved up and you're really getting this rhythm, you want to eat about an hour, hour and a half before you train. And then she'll train, and she only has like 20 minutes of cardio after she trains. And then she does her shake, and then she has her meal 6 and then bed. Now, you want a meal between this shake and bedtime. I've seen it before where people will train and do cardio, have their shake, and go home and go to bed. That shake just brought you out of a hole. That did not – it started the recovery process, but it's not going to get you through the night. You have to have another meal in your system to start recovering and stuff as you sleep. You cannot drink your shake and go to bed. If you drink your shake and it's close to bed, you better wait an hour and eat something else before you go to bed, or you're going to start setting yourself back. You're going to have trouble sleeping, and your cortisol levels are going to go up, and you're going to start taking steps backwards. You have to have a solid meal between training and bed. Now here, scenario 4 is like 3, but the cardio is in the morning. That's really the only difference. This is what Mary did for her last prep, because we had cardio here and after training, and for some reason, when we put it after training, she started showing instances of too much cortisol. So all we did, I remember at one point, all we did was take that cardio out of the evening training, and results started getting better. So, and then that depends on the person and where their diet's at. That's not saying, I've had people do 2 or 3 cardio sessions a day and be perfectly fine. This is like, scenario 4 is like 3, except the cardio is in the morning. So wake up, do cardio, eat meal 1 an hour after you wake up. So you get up and do cardio at 4, you're eating at 5, and you space your meals out throughout the day. Notice there's a bigger gap right here because we're trying to space out to where we get a meal an hour to hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours before training. You're not going to hit this perfect all the time. I understand that. But if you go in there with the mindset that you're not going to hit it perfect, you're going to be way the fuck off. You want to go in there with, I'm going to do everything superb and perfect as much as possible. And then you will either do that or be a little off, and that's okay. Always overshoot what you're trying to do. If you're trying to lose 10 pounds, you better be trying to fucking win the Olympia. Like that's how I see it. Because if you have that attitude, you're going to reach your goal faster and more efficient, and you're going to be more serious about it. If somebody's like, oh, I just want to lose 10 pounds, they're going to butt fuck around, and it's going to take them 6 months to get that shit off. So anytime I talk about stuff like this, I'm like, this is the most perfect scenario you can be in. This is what you're trying to shoot for every day. I understand shit happens. You're not going to be on point every day. but don't go in with that mindset because then you're going to be way off. So in this scenario 4, most likely this person's not going to be getting up at 4. So because these big spaces right here, if you were to push down to, okay, well, I'm going to wake up at 5 instead because I can afford to, then that pushes all the meals closer together to where it turns out to be perfect. So there's 2 ways you can fix it. You can either go with this, but if you start showing like cold sweats, getting hungry, thirsty, low blood sugar symptoms, like you're not eating enough, then you can either add an extra meal in there, or you can get up later so that everything smushes together a little bit closer so that the intervals aren't so long. Those are 2 ways you can fix it. Now, let's talk about working night shift. I've been fucking with this drawing pad, and I think I've got it down now, so we're going to use it, even though you guys are probably getting aggravated at me using that now. Let me save this. I'll post this spreadsheet in the room so you guys can download it if you want to look at these scenarios. Now, when you go to download these things, let me show you where to go. When you go into the VIP room to download stuff, here's the top of the page right here, right? All right, if you come down here to, the announcements are the first things that are posted. If you come down here a little ways and go to the right, you see recent group files right here. Go to see more. And it goes here. Everything that I post for you to download is right here, and you can download them. That easy. You just click on it, download it. If you want to upload, if you have recipes and stuff you want to put on here, you can upload it. And then I'll even screenshot it and put it into an album so that if people don't want to download all this shit, they can just go through the album and look at the screenshots of them. That's perfectly fine. Now, let's see. If you are doing let's say night shift, right? Okay. So I'll tell you how I did it when I was in the Navy, and because that way you guys can put it into however works for you the best. So if I just had my days off, I'm going into the day watches I treat like day watches. Like I would, you're going to get up, eat, take your meals with you. You've got, let's say you got a 12-hour shift, so you're going to try to stretch 4 meals out. So if you have a meal when you get up, 4 meals, and then you go train and you have your shake, and then you'll have a meal left. So that's 6 meals. But if you're like me and I need more, you could go 7. But that's how I would do it. Eat, go to work, space your 4 meals out, go to the gym, train, drink your shake, and you have 1 meal left before bed. That's simple. Now, if you're going into your night shifts, let's say you've had, you've had like 2 or 3 days off and you're going into your first night watch, right? So let's go Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday is going to be your first night watch. So you're on a regular sleeping schedule. So here's what I usually do. I would wake up. I would eat. And then I would go train. Cardio. Shake. Meal 2. And then this would be the power nap. And then I'll wake up again. Meal 3. And then go to work. Now you may only have like 3 or 4 meals left to get you through work. So if you have eaten all your meals and you're coming home because when you shift into the night shift and shift back in the normal schedule, when you shift in the night shift, you're usually going to eat an extra meal or 2. And then when you shift back into days, like you're off your last night shift and you're going to go back into days, which you're going to go over, you're going to end up eating less. So it actually balances out. So you'll go into work, you'll eat your meals, and then like Thursday morning, you're coming home. And if you've eaten all your meals and it's been like 3 or 4 hours, it's probably best to go ahead and eat meal 1 and then go to bed. And then same deal, wake up, meal 2, train. And by this time, Actually, let me redo that, because by this time you're in your shift, your sleeping schedule is shifted. So instead of power napping, you're gonna go meal 1, bed. You're probably gonna sleep like 5-6 hours and then get up to start your day. So that means you're gonna get up, train, and then go into work. So in this case, you'll get up, meal 2, train, cardio, shake, meal 3, and then work. So now you're back on that type of schedule. Now I wrote these crooked as fuck. So I'll take a good look at them before I erase it and then go into how we're going to go back into days after your night shifts are over. So this would be your first night shift. This is by your second night shift, you're in the set to where your rhythms are at night and you're good from then on. Now, let's say you're coming back into your days. Let's say it's like Friday and you're on your last night watch. And let's say Friday is a regular night shift. So you're going to go through like I did there, like you did on Thursday. Saturday is your first day off. So you're coming home Saturday morning. And just for the sake of this argument, let's say that because if you come home, usually you're not training on Saturday. So let's go. Let's say that your last night shift is on a Sunday night and you're coming home Monday morning, or even if it's like your last night shift is on a Monday night and you're coming home Tuesday morning and Tuesday is your first day off. Let's do it like that. It would work either way, but I'll just make it, if you came home and we're training Monday or came home training Tuesday, it's the same shit. So let's just write your last night shift. Okay, and then the next morning, let's make the next morning a Tuesday, and you're coming home for that shift. So depending on if you may go to bed, you may have eaten right before you left work and you can go to bed. But if you need that extra meal, then go ahead and eat meal 1. Let's say it's been like 3 or 4 hours and you need to eat again. Meal 1, bed. Now, this is where people fuck up because they're all tired and shit. So they sleep till the last goddamn minute and they get up and go train and they're up all fucking night. They can't get their schedule reset. This is the day where you have to suck it the fuck up so you can reset your schedule, because if you don't, your gains are going to go down fucking hill. Your weight loss is going to go downhill. Your muscle gains are going to go downhill. So this day where you're going from your last night shift back to a regular day schedule is where you have to suck it up. But it's actually not that bad once you get through it, because I'll tell you why. Go to bed, sleep like 4 hours. Just take a 4-hour power nap real quick. Get up. God, that's horrible. I'm getting better, I promise. Wake up, meal 2, train. You'll feel like shit, but once you get moving around, you'll be fine. It's not going to kill you. Cardio, shake, meal 3. Now, what you can do here is just carry on with whatever meals until time to go to bed, normal time. So let's say your normal bedtime's like 9 p.m. because we're like 80 years old. Let's say you get off work at 7 in the morning. So let's say you get home, you eat, you're in bed by 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. because you're not fucking around. Don't come home and fuck around and play on your phone and play on the internet and talk to all your friends about how work was. Just get home, eat, get in the fucking bed. Bed, 8:30 a.m., 4 hours. So let's say you get up around from noon to 1. You eat meal 2, go train, cardio. By this time, it's about, let's say, 3:30, 4 o'clock. All right, so you eat meal 3 around then. Let's say you go into bed by 9. You could actually get meal 4 around 6 o'clock, and then meal 5 around 8 o'clock. There. Now you've only missed one meal and you're going to go to sleep, but you ate an extra meal going into night shift, so it balances out. That's how you take care of the night shift problem. The reason people screw up is because they get home, They wait till the last minute to go to bed. They don't think about training. They come home, they stay up, or they'll come home and train, and they're up all night or something stupid like that. Dude, priorities. If you are paying to be in a program to change your physique and change your composition and be healthy, you need to buckle down and do this until you get to where you're happy. Then if you fall off every now and then, as long as you're maintaining, that's fine. But when you're trying to change how you are, whether it's looks, health, what the fuck ever, you need to sacrifice some shit and do what's necessary. In this case, it's get home, eat, get in the bed, get up, and suck it up and get through that training session, and then go back to bed. By your second day off, by Wednesday, you're back on a regular schedule, you're 100%, and you can just go fuck shit up in the gym the next day. So I don't like where people will be like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's see. Let's just do, and they'll have like shifts, night shifts here, missing one, and then one, shit. And then they'll have one here. So they'll train 3 days in a row and then take 4 fucking days off straight. You're not going to get shit out of that. You got to space it out. So if you got to get up and train before work, or you got to train during work days, that's just how it's going to be. 3 on, 4 off does not work. 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off works. So let's say 3 train. When I say on, I mean days you train. When I say off, I mean off days. 3 on, 4 off. No. 2 on, 1 off. 2 on, 2 off. Yes. My favorite, 5 on, 2 off. Double yes. Those work. 3 on, 1 off. 2 on, 2 off. I would even be happy with that. But this, fuck no. Don't be doing that shit. You ain't get anything out of it. Or I also don't like 4 on, 3 off. That's not cool. Because I think 3 rest days is too much. It's either too much or it's not going to be enough to recover from training 4 days in a row. Actually, it would be. But I think 3 days is too much. This is my personal favorite. If I had to pick a second, this would be my second favorite. Because I actually, when I first started training, I did the 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off split a long time, and I got a lot of results from it. So I hope this clears a lot of shit up. And that is that. So if you guys have any more questions about it, just type them in the comments below so that everybody else can see the questions, so that when I get on there and answer them, everybody can see them, or people that, because there's people in here that work night shift, they can come in and give their 2 cents too. This is a group thing when it comes to stuff like this, because everybody's got input. So yeah, that's it. Take it easy.